What's going on, you guys, in Raider Nation? Good win. Really good win. The scoreboard really doesn't show how good the Raiders played today. I The defense, it's a good way to close your homestand. I know this season has been a rough wash, and some of them might saying, why do you win when you should be tanking? Well, no. You play to win the game. You don't want the number one overall pick. Forget that. There has to be a clear-cut guy that's unanimously number one if we have to tank for the number one pick. It's not worth doing it. Which this year, I would have heard a name that would go to the draft right now as a unanimous number one, but nope. When there's not one of those, you don't tank for the number one overall pick. Screw that. So I'm happy to know we're not going to get that. We're not going to be the worst team in football. Raiders showed up today, and they played well. I thought the defense was the biggest positive. The only negative I would say was there was a couple brain farts. That one play by DJ Hayden I hated, but he was up and down. I'm still skeptical of him, but he had a couple good plays too, to his credit. But no, from an all-around standpoint, I was impressed from both sides of the ball. I thought Carr looked better. He made that one throw to Kimbrel Tompkins. That set up a touchdown. I mean, the Raiders offensively were running the ball well. I know Marcel Darius was lost for the game, but they ran the ball and with Latavius Murray, and it's good to know we stashed this guy from last year. We stashed him on our injured reserve, and Al Davis would have been proud of that pick because he has a lot of those Al Davis type of measurements, Murray, and he's looking good. I'm really impressed with him in terms of a building block. Yeah, I said the defense looked good. I thought this was a great coming out game for Khalil Mack. I know people don't talk about him because he's on a bad team, but if you watch the tape, he's done his job on all fronts. This game, his pass rush was good. He was disrupting. He was doing a very good job with the line, and the defense shut down the Bills today for the most part. There was just that one opening drive that was bad, and that one drive that was right before halftime, which that was kind of forgiving. I'm not too mad over that one, but yeah, that one near the end was kind of quick. But they got the stops they needed to, and even though it was I think 19-17, they got a stop, and then they were able to get a drive of their own the other way for the touchdown. So it really is a remarkable. They played a 4-quarter game, not a 55-minute game, not a 56-minute game. A 60-minute game was played today by the Raiders on all fronts, and I'm actually happy to see them end on this kind of note at home. This may be the last one of the year, but hey, they knocked the Bills out of the playoffs, and all three wins, the Chiefs, 49ers, Bills, all three of those teams could be out of the playoffs or knocked out if the Chiefs somehow don't get the miracles. That loss could hurt them, and it'd be nice to hurt the Chiefs. Hopefully the Chiefs don't get in, and I'd say that win meant something. But definitely this one meant a lot for the Bills because they were done. This is not like a cupcake Bills team that we usually see. The Bills have a legit defense. If anyone's done their research, you know that they've stocked up on defense the last few years. And it was a tough run at first. We weren't running the ball, but then once the running was open, Carr was able to do business, and everything else just kind of clicked. I thought Carr got good protection, and I saw progress from Carr. I know I wasn't happy with the pick back in May, but as long as I'm seeing progress, win or lose, and I'm seeing just better throws left and right, there's hope. And there is that progress in Derek Carr I've seen this year where I say, okay, you got to get an offensive staff and a line that can work with him, maybe another weapon. But he's a building block, and we can build around him. That's the biggest positive. So yeah, this was a meaningful game for the Bills, and we have ended their season. They don't even have a first-round pick. If anyone forgot, they traded up for Sammy Watkins. So yeah, Kyle Orton, this guy has lost 5 straight times to us. 3 times as a Bronco, 1 time as a Chief, now as a Bills quarterback. Guy knows what it's like to lose to the Raiders. So, I really was impressed with what I saw, though. This game from beginning to end. They didn't just sit on it. They didn't try to get conservative, but they didn't make any stupid mistakes. Those penalties of dumb penalties didn't happen very much. There just has to find a coach someone who can work with Derek Carr, who wants to work with Derek Carr. I think Reggie's going to stay at GM. As said before, this was a good win on all fronts, and I'm very, very impressed with how they finished because we have seen games where they nearly blow it or they pull it out late. But the last 2 wins for the Raiders were complete games. So, let me know what you all thought of this game. Anything that you saw. I mean, Charles Woodson showed he's ageless. There were those early turnovers in the beginning of the game that kind of sparked the offense a little after struggling. That said, Buffalo's not that cupcake that we usually see in the past. They had a meaningful game and they lost it. And people might say, what did the Raiders win by winning? Well, here's the one thing. The Buffalo Bills still have the longest playoff appearance drought. They haven't played a playoff game in the 21st century. The last time they played a playoff game, well, technically it was 2000, but for the 1999 season, that was the year the Music City Miracle happened. That was their last playoff event. Otherwise, they still have the longest playoff drought, and the Raiders are responsible for that on this day. So, I'd have nothing against the Bills, but you play to win the game. You don't just lie down and quit. I know that Rams game was bad, but otherwise, I haven't seen this team lie down under Tony Sparano. He's done his job as a lame duck coach. He's probably going to go somewhere else, and good for him if he gets a job somewhere. But thank him that he got this team to not just lie down and show up for games like this. The home schedule's over. It ends with a win. You got 3 wins at home. So this team isn't the worst in football. They're bad, but they're not the bottom dwellers. We'll see you guys later. Go Raiders.